Okay, here we go for another walk along the beach. So just so you know where we are in relation to where I live just down here and over to the right, so it's about less than a 5-minute walk away. It's really, really close. And this is the beach going south and obviously north. Over there, off in the distance, you can see the Lady Buddha, the white statue, the massive white statue. It's about a 2.5 hour walk away. It's a long way, maybe even longer. I actually did that walk on my second or third day here, and it was amazing, but it was just a long walk. And I ended up taking a Grab scooter back because I wasn't about to walk back. It's another really lovely day, very cool, but not cold, just cool, not humid at all. Extremely pleasant weather. You can see everybody's dressed in shorts and t-shirts just about. It's extremely pleasant. And then this promenade that I'm walking on goes north and south for miles and miles, uninterrupted. So you have a choice of either walking on this promenade on the pavement or walking on the sand over to the right. So that's the beach right here and the China Sea. You can see here there's exercise equipment everywhere where you can do pull-ups, push-ups, etc. like this guy's doing. Not something I've been doing just yet, but it's wonderful because people can go for a little walk and then do some exercises on the way. And I think that's more of a Vietnamese tradition than anything. It's not really for the tourists, it's what the Vietnamese do. And you see that in Hanoi, Nha Trang, Saigon. You see little areas of exercise equipment which is available to anybody for free. They even have the step machine that people can use. So it's a really good idea. And as I say, you know, the Vietnamese are very, very healthy people. And there's beach bars all along here. There's a nice little beach bar right there. You can grab a beer or a mango smoothie or a cup of coffee and just sit on this, the deck chairs there, the recliners, and look out over the ocean. Waves look pretty big today. It was very calm here yesterday, but it's some big waves there. I think this is where the lifeguards hang out. Some of the lifeguards in this little hut here. And there's lifeguards absolutely everywhere, patrolling the beach, looking out to just check on swimmers. But they're very, very restrictive on where you can swim. So you can see over here, I'll just walk towards the beach, see the red flag over here. There's probably another red flag further down the beach this way, and you just can't swim anywhere here. So often when you come out here and you want to go swimming, and I haven't been swimming yet, but I will do, I'm sure, in the summer when it gets much warmer, you know, you have to really pick and choose where you're allowed to swim. You can't just go ambling out into the ocean anywhere. I think they're just very, very careful because there's some very strong undercurrents and some pretty decent sized surf. There's a lot of surfing going on here. I don't see anybody out there now, but usually there's surfers out here. And they have surfing classes. You can actually learn to surf for a very small amount. And you can also body surf, which is probably going to be more my style eventually when I do start surfing. So this walk, it's pretty much like this for an hour and a half, 2 hours, all along the promenade. It's just amazing. And It's so beautiful to come out here early in the morning or later at night. And that's when you see a lot more people too, especially early in the morning. That's when all the locals come out. They can be out here at like 6:30, and they're out doing the Tai Chi or exercising or just communing with their friends or swimming. It's absolutely mobbed at times, very, very early. And then they disappear during the major heat of the day. Of course, it's not getting that hot yet, but that's the way it's going to be in the summer. And they have a siesta, just like they do in the Mediterranean countries. And they stay out of the sun. They're very, very smart. It's only the mad dogs and Englishmen that are out in the midday sun. But I'm going to be very careful about that. I'm not a big sun worshipper anyway. I'm not a big beach person. So I don't intend to be spending a great deal of time on the beach. But I do really enjoy this walk in the mornings and the evenings. It's just really beautiful. And it's good exercise. And there's loads of places to stop on the route. Hey man, how are you? Somebody I know. Yeah, so it's like there's like coffee places you can stop at any time, and you can stop and get a smoothie. And it's really good because it's good exercise, and you don't really feel like you're getting exercise because there's so much to see and do. And it's a very easy walk. And there's palm trees absolutely everywhere. Over to the left are some of the large hotels and condos. Obviously you pay a lot more to rent those, but it's still very much affordable. As you can see, it's kind of a mixture of locals and tourists. But a lot of the Vietnamese are tourists here too. They've come here on vacation from other parts of Vietnam. I'm sure the people that actually live here in Da Nang, the Vietnamese, I'm sure they don't always come down here, especially if they live over the river. It's like, you know, people that live in seaside resorts in England don't necessarily spend all their time on the beach or on the water. Like a certain somebody I know in Whitby, it's not always out in Whitby. But it's just nice to know it's there. It's nice to know that you're not landlocked, I have to say. It's lovely knowing that this is right on my doorstep within 5 minutes. Got a better view of the Lady Buddha off in the distance there. I don't know if you can see it on the video, we'll see. I'm just getting used to this device. It seems to be working pretty well though. And there's all kinds of different settings that you can set it to. So I'm sort of experimenting right now, trying to get it, trying to get the perfect setup for when I go to Bali. But the Buddha is off in the distance, the Lady Buddha. It's absolutely amazing when you see it close up. It's huge. And the idea is she's keeping watch over the bay. So this is Da Nang Bay. This is the whole stretch. Further down there is Hoi An, which is another lovely town. That's where I actually stayed a year ago. And then going north, way north of course, is Hanoi. So we're on the east coast here, so way north is Hanoi. And there's the Lady Buddha. This is a little peninsula. And also over here is Monkey Mountain, where you can see the wild monkeys. And I'm intending to go there tomorrow actually, or the next day, on my motorbike, just to cruise around a bit and see some of the outskirts of Da Nang. See joggers out here. Just the whole gamut of civilization. You see people my age, younger people, families, couples, locals, just enjoying the scenery, enjoying the experience of Da Nang. This is a big thoroughfare, and this actually leads, this road here leads to the Dragon Bridge, which I showed you on my previous video. It's about a 20-minute walk from here to the Dragon Bridge, maybe a bit longer, over the river. And then you've got Hai Chau, which is the city side of Da Nang, beyond the Dragon Bridge. They're really into photo opportunities here. So you see on all these beaches, they put the name of the beach because they know that it's a great place for people to have photographs taken. So this is Da Nang Beach. Further on down, I think it's called Mai Tai Beach. And then there's another beach further up. But everywhere they always have the name of the beach to give people an opportunity to take photographs and brag about where they are. Not that I'm doing that, of course. I'm just doing this for informational purposes. So over here is like a little area where you can get food and drinks, and you can see some people doing Tai Chi there, doing the exercising. You see that a lot. And it's often older people too. It's very cool. I think it's very much connected to Buddhism too, so it's very sort of spiritual. They kind of meditate as they're exercising. At least I think they do. I don't know. What do I know? I don't know what I'm talking about, let's face it. So yeah, this is where you can get food and drinks, various vendors, and these are everywhere. Oh, let me just look. You can hear that guy over there, the Bim Bao guy. Bum Bao. Now, so this is like amazing. You see these guys riding around on their bikes early in the morning, sometimes at 6 o'clock, and they have those pre-recorded announcements. And what they're doing is selling dumplings. Little Chinese dumplings that are filled with pork or chicken or vegetables. They're very tasty and they cost next to nothing. They maybe cost 10 pence or a quarter in US money. And they're very, very tasty. And that's what they do. They come out from the countryside. Sometimes they cycle in for a few miles and spend the day just riding around Da Nang on their bikes. Sometimes on push bikes. You see them on push bikes, but you also see them on scooters too. And they have these devices set up behind the scooter, which actually has a burning fire. I mean, health and safety would never allow it in England, but there's actually like a wood burning fire that is connected to the bike, and it's keeping the dumplings warm for the day. It's just crazy. Just over there, by the way, is where I fell over a few days ago. Very embarrassing and very damaging to my iPhone. I'm going to get it fixed in Saigon next week, I hope. And I'll get it fixed under the Apple warranty. We shall see. But the replacement phone I got is absolutely fantastic, and it cost me maybe $160, $170. Just a sort of smartphone knockoff made in China, but it does everything that the iPhone does. It's just not quite as fancy. The quality of the photographs isn't as good, but it certainly does the job, and it's nice to have it as a backup phone. But I am looking forward to getting my iPhone back because it does take better photographs. And you can go to the beach at any point here and just dart down and you're on the sand. But for this one I'm just going to stay on the promenade just so you can see all the different places. Here's a sushi restaurant, Japanese restaurant. These tend to be a bit pricier as far as the food goes, but still affordable, but just more than you'd be paying inland. Obviously they exploit tourists on the beach, understandable. I haven't been in that place yet, the Mad Plata, but it looks really nice. Okay, so here is a seafood place, and you see this everywhere. Live seafood in the tanks, and you just basically point to what you want to eat, and they'll cook it up for you in whatever way you want. And there's a lot of recognizable stuff. There's lobsters and crabs, and then they have some fish. I'm not entirely sure what they are. They got scallops. But I think you can actually take them home with you, or you can just sit in the restaurant and have it cooked in a variety of ways. Usually with garlic and lemongrass and chili and stuff like that. And I've yet to have a big seafood feast, but I will definitely do that at some point. I think you've got to be very careful with the seafood here. If I'm going to eat seafood, this is where I'm going to do it from. I'm not going to do it like at a market, a night market, because there's a real risk of getting sick because it's been sitting out for too long. But here's another one. Look, some bloody huge fish there swimming around, and you can literally pick out whatever you want, and the poor bugger ends up on your plate. Little play area for kids there, for when Tom and Laura come visit with their kids. You know, you're welcome. This place is pretty cool, the East West Brewery. I went here for a beer the other day, and it was really, really good. They have their own IPA brewery thing going on in there. And the food was good too. Apparently this is really good for burgers and for breakfast. They do English style breakfasts if you're that way inclined. Maybe I'll go for a walk on the beach now and you can see some of the beach, what's going on. I think there's always activities going on. Beach volleyball and playing soccer, and people just hanging out and swimming. Looks like people are actually in the water over here. The thing with these action cameras is that I have it attached to a wand, a selfie stick, and of course I'm just walking around here apparently talking to myself, which is not the first time I've done that. I do tend to talk to myself anyway, so people tend to know what you're doing because a lot of people have these devices. Either they're using their phone or they're using like a GoPro or something. These guys are playing volleyball, playing soccer. These are the boats, the fishing boats, and they're circular boats, and there's usually just one guy out here, and they just go out not too far from the beach and they do their fishing. And you see hundreds of these around. And further up the beach, there's an actual fishing village where you see literally hundreds of these boats. And that's more of a local place, less touristy. Of course, it's Sunday now, so this is probably the busiest day on the beach. And it's also really good weather. So people that don't like the heat are out too, so this is probably as busy as it gets. that kid signed up for Arsenal. See a bunch of people out swimming. There's a lifeguard in the yellow and red outfit with a red flag ready to wave people in, to tell them to come in and stop swimming in certain areas. They're very, very on the ball. There's really no excuse to drown here. There's a big ship out there, a big container ship out in the distance. And we're getting a better view of the Lady Buddha there. I hope you can see it. There's a lot of places that play music, a lot of chill EDM music. It's really nice to come out here and have a beer. And I have to say, the prices are incredible at some places. You can get 2-for-1 gin and tonics, Laura, for, I think it's about $3 or something like that. So that's 2 gin and tonics, big ones too, and decent ones, for about $2 or $3. Can't beat that. And you can get a draft beer for like $1. It's just amazing. Just moving out of the way of the water here. So off in this direction is Sontra, way further north. Well, actually we're almost there now, I think. And this is an alternative place to live if you don't want to be in the really busy expat area. But when I come back from Bali, I am going to be very close to where I'm staying now in another place. I'm only going to be there for a month, and then I go to Laos. And when I come back from Laos, I'll have another month to stay here in Da Nang, and I have to decide where I'm going to stay. But I think I may choose a different area, either up here further north along the beach in the quieter area, or I may go across the river and stay in the city. There's another sign saying Da Nang for photo opportunities. We live in the age of social media. We live in an Instagram world now, where you have to have photos taken of absolutely everything. Which sounds rich coming from me, walking along here with my bloody camera, but I'm only doing this for family and for myself. I'm not putting these out publicly. Although there's a side of me that is really tempted to open a travelogue, a YouTube channel, where I can professionally edit the videos, and I know how to do that, of course, and actually start promoting it. And if you get enough subscribers, then you start making money from it. That's what loads of people do. They're out here. They're called content providers or lifestyle bloggers, and there's loads of them, and some of them are really good, like that guy Paddy that I've sent videos, some of his videos of Vietnam and Thailand and Laos. He's just amazing. He's a British guy. I think he's from the Newcastle area. He does an absolutely superb job. But you know, he's got a drone and very high production values, so you can either do it that way or you can do it more informally. But the thing is, it doesn't really matter as long as you get subscribers, and then once you get enough subscribers, then YouTube actually pays you money and you can generate income from your videos. So that's something I've kind of considered. But I think you need a kind of angle, a niche, and I want to do it from an angle of somebody of my age who is doing this a little bit later in life than a lot of the younger vloggers that you see out there. So, I don't know, we'll see. I'm sort of tempted. And I think I would do a decent job because I can bullshit away indefinitely. And I know how to edit. So, I think that might work. And if I make a couple of $100 a month, what the heck, you know? May as well get paid for it. But we shall see. Watch this space, as they say. Getting even closer to the Lady Buddha off in the distance there. The sky looks absolutely beautiful. And again, there's a bunch of hotels. There's a Radisson, there's a Sheraton down here. There's a place that I come to sit for the day and work. Well, not for the entire day, for maybe 2 or 3 hours. I have a coffee, and they've got really good high-speed internet. And I just have a kind of office for a couple of hours. And it's also a good excuse to get the exercise to walk out there, because it takes about 45 minutes to walk out there. That's really nice. Here you can see the lifeguards again, keeping an eye on everything. And there's a bunch of people out there in the water. It's like a Man City supporter. Loser. Oh my goodness, this water's coming in now. Coming in pretty fast. Okay, I'm going to walk back to the promenade and start walking back. I hope this is working okay, because I'm just talking to myself here, and I'm hoping it's getting on camera. I may stop for a coffee soon, after I've finished this video, and then head back to my room, put this on YouTube so you can hopefully see it tomorrow. Arsenal play Man United tonight. I think the game kicks off at about 11 PM for me, but I will definitely be watching. And if I'm not mistaken, Leeds are playing today too, against Portsmouth, so I may watch that. It's nice to watch sort of a more substandard level of football before watching Arsenal, because regardless of how badly Arsenal play, you can always say, well, at least they're better than Leeds, you know. I'm sure Tom understands that. There's the Bombao guy going 10 to the dozen. Here's some vendors selling stuff, fresh vegetables. Hello, Sing Tao. Yeah, I'm just so fluent in Vietnamese, it's amazing now. So now I'm walking back down the same path, but going south. So I've got the beach to my left and all of the hotels and condos and homestays and restaurants to my right. So maybe not more than 10, 15 years ago, there was absolutely nothing here. It was just a desolate beach. There were a few places, obviously, but Da Nang has really grown in the last few years, and all of these buildings are relatively new, and they're still building new ones all the time. You see cranes everywhere. In fact, one of the issues when you rent an apartment or homestay is to make sure that you go and see it first, and make sure that there isn't construction going on right next door. And there's a chance that there will be, in which case you'll have some serious noise going on for a few months. They do build very fast here though. I have to say, it's very impressive how quickly structures go up. It's starting to get dark now. This camera supposedly has a night setting which takes really good footage in darker conditions, so at some point I'll be trying that out. Here's another area where you can take photographs. I think all of this over here is something to do with Tet, with the New Year, and they still have all the structures up for that. New Year here is just huge, bigger than Christmas, bigger than Easter. Well, that's not surprising because it's essentially a Buddhist country. Bigger than the 4th of July for obvious reasons. But it's a really, really big deal, and it goes on for about 2 weeks, and the tradition is for the people that are in cities, they go home. It's a family time where families get together, and so a lot of people in the cities close up shop, whatever business they have, and they're gone for a week to 2 weeks, completely gone, and people just have to accept it because it's Tet and everybody else is doing the same. So I was here for right before Tet started. And yeah, I did notice that a lot of places were closed, but it was still fine. It's not that I starved to death or anything. There were still lots of places open. But yeah, it's a big deal here. In fact, when I first arrived 7 weeks ago, the first thing a Vietnamese person said to me was Happy Tet in English. It was the taxi driver. And he was lovely. And he wished me Happy Tet, which was a nice way to be welcomed into Vietnam, considering I was coming here to live. They have like little concert areas set up here too, with stages, and they have live music. It might be a DJ or it might be a live band, but there's always something going on. I think on my next video I'm going to walk through the An Tung area, which is the area where I'm kind of living and where I'll be more living further deep into it when I come back from Bali, and that's the expat area, and that's where all the Western restaurants are, and it's really nice, but it's just off the beach and it's a neighborhood with about 4 or 5 streets, and there's just hundreds and hundreds of restaurants and Airbnbs and homestays where you can actually stay, and that's where I'm going to be in a couple of months when I come back from Bali. There's the Ban Bao man, or lady in this case, I think. And she has them all in that contraption at the back of the bike. Yeah, you can see there just to the left, that's natural wood-burning fire on the back of a scooter to keep the dumplings warm. It's insane. And they drive around like that all day, and you can just wave them down. You know they're coming because they have that recording going non-stop. And sometimes I've been woken up by it, like I say. Sometimes they're out at 7, 8 o'clock. But it's okay. First world problems, you know. Just cultural differences you just have to accept and get used to. And it really doesn't bother me because such a cool place here, such a beautiful place. All right, I think I'm going to stop now. I'm going to go and get myself a coffee. I'm going to get back to my Airbnb and I will post this to my YouTube channel. And I think I've set it now to where if you want to make a comment, you can. I had it set on private before. Now it's public, so if you want to make a comment, even if it's something really insulting, like, Neil, just shut up just for 5 minutes. It's fine, I don't care. I'm thick-skinned. But feel free to make a comment. And I love you all, I miss you all, and I'm going to be seeing you very, very soon.